The following clip is from the North to South Show, live every Monday and Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where we talk SEC football everything. We'd love to have you out next show, but for now, hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button, and enjoy this clip. Breaking down the Georgia and Clemson game. Now you can see I got my nice Carolina blue on here. I got my Carolina Panthers jersey on, and there is some significance behind this jersey and this game because this game will be played in Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium, in the Carolina Panthers Stadium, of course, where the Panthers play. I love the Panthers. I'm a Bears fan first and foremost, but I'm also a big Panthers fan. This game of the year, I have no problem at all in saying it. You look at non-conference games, yes, you're going to have Ohio State and Oregon this year. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. Ohio State and Oregon will be a blast. It'll be a big game. Huge non-conference game, especially to prove that the Pac-12 is a better conference if they are able to knock off the Big Ten. But you're talking about a team that has dominated college football the last couple of years, even though I hate to say it. I've mentioned this a ton of times. I'm a big Gamecocks fan. These are the two teams I should hate the most. I hate Clemson more than anything else in the world. Can't stand Clemson. Can't stand anyone on that team. Hate Clemson, and I don't like the Georgia Bulldogs either. I'd say I hate Tennessee more than I hate Georgia, but I don't like Georgia either. So this game is weird for me to watch because I hate both teams, but it's very interesting for me. I'm excited for this game nonetheless. Georgia is a team that has just been stuck of that mode the last couple of years, ever since 2017 in that national championship when Devontae Smith caught that ball. I apologize for bringing that back up, Georgia fans. Georgia's been a team that has been great, but they have not yet to just touch that elite level and make it back to the playoffs. Kirby Smart has not had, I don't want to say they've not had the quarterback, but it seems like Jake Fromm in that whole scenario after the national championship when you could have had Justin Fields didn't perform at the level that they needed to get Georgia back to a big situation like getting into the playoffs. You have a close SEC championship game in 2018, not able to win there. 2019, you go out, you get smacked by LSU in the SEC championship, and then this year you lose to Florida and don't even have a chance at making the SEC East winning the SEC championship this year. Georgia's just that classic team, the team that in college football is, I'd say they're nationally definitely respected as a program, just haven't got that big season that they deserve and their fans deserve, because I don't want to say that I know how it feels to be a Georgia fan because I'm a Gamecocks fan and we haven't come close, although we will. Shane Beamer, I'm telling you, he's the man. We haven't come close to getting that national championship spot like Georgia has, where Georgia fans have had to go through a lot of hope and promise and everything you're looking at in those 2017, 2018 seasons to get absolutely nothing in return. So, game of the year. Let's break down Clemson last season because this is where I want to go into talking more about Clemson here than Georgia because we just broke down Georgia, but how is Georgia going to be able to combat Clemson and how is Georgia going to be able to win this game? You look at Clemson last year. Clemson, I'm going to say, because I don't like the ACC, I don't respect the ACC because Clemson just gets a cupcake schedule every single year. Yes, they are a very, very good team, and they'd probably win a decent amount of games in the SEC. I'm not saying that they go undefeated like they do and just cakewalk through the ACC, but they'd still be one of the better teams, hands down, if they played in the SEC. But the game like Notre Dame, yes, you'll lose that game, the first round of that game, because you have Trevor Lawrence out and you go to South Bend and blah, 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 blah. Great job, Notre Dame. The rest of this Clemson team for the rest of the season, yes, they look very dominant in that ACC championship game, but then you go to the Ohio State game and the secondary just gets absolutely torched by Justin Fields. Ohio State looks really, really good defensively, and just Trevor Lawrence in that offense, especially that defense, just couldn't do anything to hold themselves and give themselves a chance in that game. I think the final score was like 49-28, so Ohio State won by 21 points. It was not a good end to Trevor Lawrence's career. But you go into this season, Trevor Lawrence exits. Travis Etienne exits. So the identity of your offense the last 2 years is gone. I'm pretty sure Amari Rodgers is also gone. The offense is changing. Now, before I looked at the defense and reminded myself of why people are so high on this Clemson team going into this season, I just looked at the offense. I was like, man, this Clemson team's not going to be that good this year. I tell you, like, look at this offense. Sure, DJ is a very, very good quarterback. No problems with that. But then you look at the rest of the skill players on that offense. no discredit to any of these guys. They're all great, but looking at what they dropped off from last year, I think it is definitely a down step. You look at Lynn J. Dixon as your running back, Justin Ross, who was obviously coming back after a big injury. Justin Ross is a great player. You're going to have E.J. Williams and then Joseph Nagata, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name, at wide receiver. So those guys right there, that is going to be the core of your offense next season, and you're going to have a decent offensive line. And I was just like, man, I look at that offense, and then you look at offenses like Alabama's and Oklahoma's. I think Oklahoma's offense is going to be amazing this year, and I'm just like, does Clemson's offense really match with those guys? Like, how are these guys going to be one of the better teams in all of college football? And then I reminded myself, and I got a nice greeting to what this Clemson strength is, and that is their defense, more specifically their defensive line, because it is really good. And me saying that as a Gamecocks fan sucks. I hate it. I hate talking good about Clemson, but this is a scary, scary, scary defense that we're going to have to go up against them this year at some point, but they are good. Miles Murphy, Brian Brisset, Tyler Davis, and Justin Foster on your defensive line. 5-star, 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 5-star. 5 stars all over this team. It's frustrating, but this D-line especially, just getting after it last season, especially what Georgia's strength is in that running game, you are going to have a big battle in the trenches in the first game of the season against Clemson's defensive line, because that defensive line is really good. At linebacker, you got Skalski and you got Spector. At linebacker, I think that they're decent there. It seems like James Skalski has been on this team for 10 years. He's the new Hunter Renfrow. And then you look at the secondary for Clemson. You go into Andrew Booth, you go into Nolan Turner, and you go into Landon Zanders. This defense is really good on all levels. Of course, I said the strength is this defensive line, and they're going to get after it this season. But you look at all levels of this team. They got experience, and they got talent on this side of the ball. Again, they got talent on the offensive side of the ball. I'm not saying the offense is going to be terrible next season. I'm just saying from what it was last year, step down for sure. But this defense, I think, is picking up right where they left off. This team is going to be legit this year on the defensive side of the ball. I got some keys for Georgia to win this game, because this is the game of the year for Georgia. It's the game of the year for Clemson. It's the game of the year for college football. I repeat it over and over and over and over again. But until everyone realizes it and everyone realizes the magnitude on that game on opening weekend, I'm not going to stop preaching it. Keys for Georgia to win. Start hot. This is what I have to do. This is what Georgia has to do to combat that defensive line. I know Georgia loves to start the game with the rushing game and establish the rushing game before they really open up the passing game. I don't think that is going to work against this Clemson defensive front to start the game. I'm not saying that you're not going to have any rushing game the whole game. Another one of my notes that I have here, another one of my keys, have the rushing game relevant in this game, but do not rely on it. If you rely on the rushing game to score the ball every single drive and get the ball down the field, you are going to lose this game. It's as simple as that. This Clemson defensive line is way, way, way too good to just let you run the ball down their throats the whole game. You got to make at least 5 plays over 20-plus yards. I think that is a given for elite teams wanting to beat another elite team on any level of college football. That's just what college football is. It's all about the big plays. JT Daniels is going to have to find guys deep downfield. He's going to have to hit his throws, and you're going to need at least 5 plays of 20-plus yards. That's how you get down the field fast, and that's how you score lots of points. Lastly, with this Georgia defensive line, which again I said is the strength of this defense, got to get after DJ. Look, yes, he played in a big game against Notre Dame last year, but I don't think that game compares to what this game is, because this is DJ's team. DJ was playing for Trevor's team last year. This is DJ's team, and this is the game that if DJ wins this, he's going to go as high as the roof. But if Clemson loses this game, people are going to doubt Clemson, and it will literally kick them out of the playoffs. I guarantee you that. If Clemson loses this game, regardless if they win out the rest of the season in the ACC, it will be a huge hit, and there will be a good chance that you will not see Clemson in the playoffs this season. So DJ is going to have tons of pressure on him in this game. Make him worried, make him make mistakes, and Georgia could find themselves successful in this game. So those are my keys to win for UGA. A score prediction right now, I'm going to seem biased either way because I don't like either teams, but I'm going to be cheering for Georgia in this game. I've made that very clear in every single one of my videos. So I feel like this is going to be a very close game. I'm going to go 38-35 Georgia. 38-35 Georgia. Let's go with that. So let's finish.